Hi guys, it's Janet here. I guess I'm live, jumping from call to call today, which is really always fun. It's been one of those busy sales kind of days, which are always great in the life of a high ticket sales expert. So, anyway, today we're going to have a great conversation about how much commission should you pay your high ticket salesperson. So, for those of you who are new and who are just jumping on, I am Janet Clark and I am a high ticket sales expert. In fact, I have been selling high ticket programs for some of the top online coaches and consultants over the last couple of years. So, I have sold over $5 million in high ticket programs, and I have done that selling for people like Ryan Levesque of the Ask Method, um, Alex Mendozian of Marketing Online, Bill Barron, Lisa Sasevich, and a few others who you probably have heard of as well. So, at this point, what I really want to talk to you about is the importance of understanding that in order to get a really quality salesperson, you are going to need to obviously pay them a commission. And I'm going to explain to you how that's going to work out for you and how to know how much you should really be paying for commissions to your salespeople. So, before we jump in, let me just say this. If you are a coach and you are at the point where you have a rapidly growing business and you know that the next level of growth for you is to be able to get off of the phones and to actually start spending more of your time doing what you do best, which is obviously coaching and consulting with your clients, and you know that you need to spend more time with your clients in order to grow your business, this will be great for you, right? So um, we are here to speak to people who are at that point who they know they need to something has to give. And obviously, since you started your business to be a coach and people are buying you and your time and your expertise, you want to be able to put a lot of your focus over there and not in the sales. Because if you continually do sales yourself, then you're going to have to, if you want to build your business, right, you're going to have to take more and more sales calls, which is only going to take more and more of your time. So we don't want that to happen. Now, if you're a salesperson and you are looking to break into the world of selling high ticket offers for coaches and consultants, this is probably a really good information for you too, so that you can understand how to bring the most value to the coaches that you sell for. So I want to make sure that you understand this isn't a sales training in the respect that I'm not trying to sell you something. It actually is a training where I want to make sure that I give you some really good value. So I'm not making an offer here, but I will tell you at the end, if you do want to connect with me and you do want to have a conversation, hi, Michael, that you're welcome to, I'll give you a link to how to get in touch with me at the end of the call. Okay, I've got notes today because I've been running around like a crazy person, but I want to make sure I hit all of the really good points of this. So, let's talk a little bit about, I like to kind of re-emphasize this on each one of these lives that I do. If you're a coach, you understand that in order for your business to grow, there's really two sides to making money, right? There's the sales and marketing, and there's the coaching. Now, the sales and marketing piece of it is the one that really is the challenge for a lot of us. And so we find ourselves spending a lot of time and energy on that side of the business, and it sucks time away from what we really want to do, which is the coaching part of our business. So I recognize that sales and marketing is a big topic. And, the marketing piece of it, I have aligned myself with some amazing, like some of the smartest people who really know how to do marketing, build these funnels, and get the qualified leads through the door. And so I can certainly introduce you to them, and I will be bringing them on. Last week I had Chris Lobb on. He's amazing. And there will be other people as well. So as I go forward, or if you're looking for someone that can really help you to create the lead flow into your business, then certainly reach out to me and I can refer you to the people who I partner with in that. But really, my expertise is in the selling, in the high ticket sales part of it. So that's kind of where I want to focus on our conversation, not so much on the prospecting and lead generation side of it. So, in today's training, I want to cover like how do you, what should you expect to pay your salesperson? And is there, is there a right amount of money to pay? And what are the different models that people have out there of ways that you can bring on a salesperson? So I'm going to talk about some of the different models. Let me check back on my notes here. Okay, so the first model is really where some people will charge a monthly retainer and a lower commission. Now, the reason for that is because when you bring on a salesperson, they have no idea whether you're giving them qualified, quality leads or not. Okay, so what they're doing is they're opening their calendar to you. And when they do that, they're giving up making money some other way, right? So if you book 20 calls on their calendar, that's 20 hours that they could use to make money. And if it turns out that of those 20 calls, the 15 other leads, 10 don't show up and 5 are broke and totally not qualified, and there's only a potential for them to sell maybe 1 out of 5, that's an awful lot of downtime for them. So they want to know that they're going to be able to make a certain amount of money regardless of whether you show up with some really good leads or not. So you may end up spending anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 in monthly retainers. Some people will charge up to $10,000 a month in monthly retainers because they expect that that's what they're going to be able to bring back to you in sales. So that's one way. And so then at that point, your commission may be, you may only be paying a commission over and above. So let's say, for example, it's a 10K program that they're selling, and you're paying them a retainer, and their goal is to sell 4 of those for you a month. So that would be $40,000 in sales. So maybe with that, they figure that they're going to be able to earn $8,000, which would be 20%. But they're not going to charge you 20%. They're going to charge you a retainer. So maybe the retainer that they're charging you is $7,000 a month, right? So the difference between what they're charging you in the retainer and then what you pay them in commission is probably going to equal to the 20% that they would have charged. So hopefully that makes sense. So a lot of times people are going to say, I'm not going to trust you. Now, in my selling, where I sell for some of these big name people, I don't have to worry about charging them a retainer because I know that I'm going to close their leads at 80%, right? So I'm going to have a really high close ratio because I know that they know how to do prospecting and lead generation and qualifying the leads. So depending on where you are, when you come into this first foray into hiring somebody, you're going to have to figure out whether you want to go with the monthly retainer. And that really makes sure that that salesperson is going to hang with you and is really going to be working with you and helping you to make sure that the leads are qualified. Okay, another way that sometimes happens is that you might go with a company that will match you up with a salesperson and help you to find that salesperson. They'll help you to interview the people. They'll help get them set up, and maybe they even have people for you that they can put on your project. In that particular case, there's going to be a setup fee. So the setup fee can be anywhere from, say, $5,000 to $10,000, but they're going to match you up with that person, and then they're going to manage that situation going forward. Now, you're probably going to pay a little higher percentage if you have somebody managing your sales team, right? So if you have 2 or 3 people and you just don't want to deal with it at all, you just want somebody else to take it, you're going to probably be paying, well, maybe 20% if you're selling something over 20,000, if you're selling between 10 and $20,000 program, maybe it'll be a 20%, or it could be even, I'm sorry, 25%, say if it's between 10 and 20,000, or if it's under 10,000, say it's a $7,500 program, you may be paying 30%. So the reason for that is because now you've got the overhead of somebody who's actually managing these people. I have a little bit of a hybrid model. So in my program, the High Ticket Sales Alliance, the way that it works is I do charge a $5,000 matching fee to the coach. However, the salesperson has also paid $5,000 to have access to me and to be matched up. And I provide mentoring to that salesperson, but I don't necessarily manage them. So it's a little bit of a different model. So the setup fee that the coach would pay to somebody like me would be in order for me to kind of spend that first month or two just making sure it's a good match, kind of being the liaison between the salesperson and the coach. And then once we know that there's a good fit, then I kind of bow out. The salesperson works directly with you and you pay the commission. So in that case, you may be paying 15% to the salesperson, but you work it out directly with them. And that's a good model because as you grow, you may need more salespeople, or that particular salesperson outgrows you and wants to move on to something a little bigger. You can always come back to me, and because you've already paid the setup fee, you will continually have access to the people coming through the alliance. So that's three models that are out there. Now, another model obviously is to just go out and do an ad and just look for a salesperson, do all the interviewing yourself, try to screen them out, try to figure out whether they're credible, if they're any good. I can guarantee you that that is going to be a lot of time and energy on your part, and probably a lot of wasted time and energy, because there are a lot of people out there who really do not have the expertise that they claim they have, do not have experience, have never sold anything, but they consider themselves, closers, and they've taken a class. So you have to really, really be discerning if you're going to do that. So I guess the key thing to know is that if you are ready to take on a salesperson, more than likely you are going to have to front up some money. And it's probably going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to get the salesperson on and running. And if, to be sure that you're going to get somebody who's good. Now, what I like to say to people is that's not a big investment, because most of the people who do charge an upfront for you to bring on the salesperson also guarantee that money back to you in sales. So if you know that, okay, I'm going to come up with $5,000 or I'm going to come up with $10,000 up front, but I know that that person's going to give me back that amount of money in sales, and they are going to bring credible people on to do that. So it's important to think about that. So let's talk a little bit about, okay, well, what if you could go out and you could just get your person direct? And you can find somebody out there that says they have sales experience and you feel good about them, and they'll come on board for 10%. And you're like, yeah, why should I pay 20% or 25% if I could get someone for 10%? Well, let's talk about that. If you have, just to keep things kind of on the same level here, let's say you're selling a $10,000 program. So that sounds like a really good deal, right? Okay, I have a $10,000 program and I'm going to pay this person 10%. That's $1,000. So they're getting a really good deal. And especially, if they can sell 2 or 3 of those, 2.5 of those a week, is a $10,000 month for them. So, that salesperson is doing like amazing. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something. If that salesperson is good, if that salesperson can close at a high close ratio, how long do you think they're going to hang around with you and sell your program for 10%? Because if they're good, the word of mouth is going to go like wildfire because there are not a lot of good people out there. And somebody is going to come along and scoop that person up and say, come on and work for me. I'll pay you 15% or 20%, right? Because it's possible, right? It's not uncommon for salespeople to be able to make 20%. So the question to you is, do you want somebody that's going to be a quick hit, who's going to be, salespeople, they want to make a lot of money. So, do you want somebody that's got one foot out the door, that's selling for you now, but is looking for the next good opportunity? Or do you really want somebody who's going to want to stay around, be committed to your business? And you're not going to have to worry that somebody's going to come along and, for a few percentage points more, win them away from you. So again, this is loyalty. This is the loyalty that you're going to have to that person. And that's the loyalty that that person's going to have back to you because you're treating them as, fairly or maybe even better than what somebody else would be willing to do. So how would you do that? Okay. It's not difficult for a good salesperson to increase the price of your program to actually cover their commission. So let me explain that. And I've done this so many times, right? Where somebody would come to me and say, I'd like to have you sell for me. And so this was back, say, a year ago when I was actually taking on some clients that I was doing some more selling for. And I would say, well, what are you charging for your program? Well, I charge $5,000 for my program. And I would be like, okay, great. I will do it, but I will not sell it for 5,000. I will sell it for 7,500, and you will pay me 2,500 for every deal that I sell. Okay? So now I'm getting a really good commission off of that deal, right? It's a $7,500 deal. I'm getting, what is that, 30%, $2,500. It's a win for both. Okay, you as the coach don't have to worry that it's actually cost you anything to have me come in and sell for you. Or again, in the case now would be somebody that I would put in for you. So we've done this time and time again. Somebody comes to me and they say, okay, I have a program, I'm charging $7,800 for it. I'm like, fine, I'll sell it for you. I'm charging $10,000 to sell it for you. It's not a problem. Okay. So if you get the right salesperson, it should make no difference to them whether they're selling your program for $8,000 or $10,000. Now it may to you because you are a coach. You are not a salesperson and you haven't been trained in sales and it's not your area of expertise and you've got some insecurities about selling your own program. So obviously you're feeling like, I don't know if I could really make that jump from 8,000 or 7,500 to 10,000. But a good salesperson is easily going to be able to help you with that and just take over that selling at that higher level. So that's a really important thing to recognize, that if you get somebody who is the right fit for you and the right salesperson, that you can pay them plenty of money and not even see it come out of your pocket, right? So it's just really important to understand that you have to treat your salesperson as a really integral part of your team, and you need to compensate them well, but you also need to get somebody who's confident enough to be able to figure out how to cover their own nut, so to speak, by selling your program at a higher level. So, with all that said, I really think it's important that, you recognize that just to be able to step away from the phone and to be able to do that with complete confidence that you have someone that can represent your company at a professional level and somebody who isn't just out to, get their own win. It's not all about the commission for the salesperson. Yes, everybody wants to make money. right? Salespeople are mavericks in a lot of ways, right? They want to be able to work from anywhere. They want to be able to dial up their income on demand, right? And do it from anywhere in the world. But they don't necessarily want, you don't want them to do it at your expense. So you want to make sure that you get somebody who is solid, has a lot of integrity, has a lot of experience, and wants you to look good as well. And somebody who really wants to help you to preserve your base so that when you bring the salesperson on, it doesn't even make a dent in what you're already earning per month, right? So we just increase the price. So a lot of people don't really think about that. So I really wanted to bring that out today. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to make sure you knew about. Yeah, so again, how you price your program is something that a really good, experienced salesperson is going to be able to guide you in that area as well. Because people who have been doing this for a while, they know what goes into a program that's a 10K level, a program that's a 15K level, right? How could you actually increase your price and charge 50K for a program? I mean, I've sold 100K programs. I know what's in, what needs to be in a program to command 100K. So in all of that research that you're going to be doing as you look for a salesperson, you definitely want somebody who not only is just there to sell, but is also there to give you the advice on how best to increase your sales and to get your revenue stream up to a much higher level every single month. So that's my little tidbit on commissions. I would love to chat with you if you are a coach or a salesperson who knows that you need to, get matched up one way or another. If you just want to pick my brain about that, if you want to chat about commissions, if you want to ask me, like, what do I think would be the right thing for you to do, reach out. I'm going to put my link for my calendar in the comments here, but it is meetme.so slash Freedom Shift. What's the name of my company? Oh yeah, Freedom Shift. But I'll put the link in here. But feel free to reach out or messenger me, and I'll just send you the link if for some reason you're driving and you just can't write it down right now. But I would love to chat with you. So, even though I am a, high ticket salesperson, I've sold over $5 million in coaching programs. What I really love is I really love the connecting. I love the relationship building. I really want to get to know you. I appreciate that you've been following me and that you're here. And it's all about really the connections, making the connections, building the relationships, introducing each other. And, there's also my Facebook group, the High Ticket Sales Collaborative. And I'd love to have you join that as well, because it is all about collaboration. And thank you so much for being here. So feel free to book a call and know that I would love to meet you and chat with you in person. And I will be back next Thursday, same time, same place, to chat more about what it takes to actually bring a salesperson on and how to go about finding the right salesperson. So thanks for being here today, and I will see you again next week. And in the meantime, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you. Okay, bye for now.